talk to you about that are very Dublin specific. We're Dublin, but we're also, reaching out to communities everywhere else. 2 years ago, Rick Gerber, City Councilman Rick Gerber, who I'm going to keep talking about there, he came to us and said, you know what, we need to do something about folks in the military that are coming back from Afghanistan and Iraq. I mean, we know, we've all read in the paper that there's a tremendous need in terms of mental health and substance abuse care for both the servicemen and women and the families. And so the city actually, and Washington Township, actually helped hire a part-time military outreach person, specialist, that is hired by the center. We also trained a number, and it's more than 7 now, of our therapists in some special interventions that the military has suggested work with people who have been through traumatic events. This is free to Dublin and Washington Township residents. This has been an amazing success. I can't tell you that we've served hundreds and hundreds of people, but we've served quite a few folks, family members and servicemen and women. And one of the things that is most touching to me is when I walk through our waiting room and I see a big burly guy in his fatigues with his name on his fatigues in our waiting room. I never ever thought that would happen. I thought they would come to us with their, civilian garb on. And I mentioned that to Gene Bostic, one of the Washington Township trustees, and he said, well, Julie, they're proud of wearing the uniform. And, I really was it just strikes me every time I see that. So we do have people coming to us for help, and thank you, Rick and others, for bringing this to Dublin. I sat and talked to Dave Williamson. I talked to all kinds of folks in the community who were either active or former military to give me advice and ideas about what we should do and how we should design this. So thank you. This is great. This is why Dublin's so wonderful. So the other thing that the city and Washington Township have funded is a critical incident stress management team. This is the therapy or the approach that was used during Oklahoma City and 9/11 with first responders. It's a technique that's used with first responders who have been through traumatic events or are going through traumatic events. It's also a technique that can be used with just anybody who's been through, anybody in this room who's been through a traumatic event. It can be done after the death of a student at a school. It can be done, at a business, like at a bank after a robbery. But we have 12 staff who are ready 24/7 to go out and work with folks who are in need of that type of intervention. And again, that was something that the city and the township recognized as a need and helped us get ready for it, and we're ready to go.